Here's the written script. I kept the exact content, flow, only made the language feel like a real American gardener who's been there, done that, sitting on his porch talking straight to you. More natural pauses, personality, lit storytelling, vibes, and that I'm sharing this because it actually helped me, energy that goes viral. Have you been treating the wrong problem in your garden? Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever walked out in your garden, looked around, and just thought, man, everything is falling apart at once? One week your plants are looking strong. Leaves are nice and green. Flowers are popping open, and those tomatoes are finally starting to set. You're feeling pretty good about yours. Then, boom, out of nowhere it all changes. White powdery stuff shows up on the leaves. Dark spots start spreading on your roses. New growth is curling up and looking pathetic. And when you flip a leaf over, there's a whole crowd of tiny bugs sucking the life out of your plant. At that point, most of us freak out and think we've got 10 different problems happen at the same time. One disease here, some insect there, another disease somewhere else. Next thing you know, you are standing in the garden center, staring at a whole wall of bottles, wondering which one is going to save your garden. But here's the thing I've learned after years of messing up my own garden. A lot of these problems look totally different on the surface, but they usually fall into just a few categories. And once you start seeing those categories, gardening gets way simpler, cheaper, and a whole lot less stressful. Today, I want to show you one super simple homemade spray that can handle two of the biggest headaches most homeowners deal with every single year. But more importantly, I'm going to tell you exactly why it works, and when it flat out doesn't, because the last thing I want is for you to get disappointed. Let's start with some that surprise a lot of people. Most of us spend way too much time reacting to problems instead of preventing them. Think about your own garden. How many times have you only noticed something was wrong after it was already bad? By the time you see powdery mildew all over the leaves, that fungus has been growing for days. By the time the aphids are thick on the stems, they've already been parting and making babies. The stuff you see is usually the end of the story, not the beginning. That's why the smart gardeners I know don't run around looking for miracle cures. They focus on creating conditions where problems don't want to show up in the first place. And this is where a simple baking soda spray comes in. Now, hold on. Before we get too excited, let's be real with each other. Baking soda is not some magic potion. It's not going to fix every single thing in your yard. It won't stop caterpillars from eating your cabbage. It won't get rid of beetles.
Unfortunately,
it won't prevent
for an
every
infestation
disease
this
out
severe,
there.
a simple baking
Anyone
soda
telling
spray
you different
won't help.
is just trying to sell you something. But for certain fung problems, especially powdery mildew, it can be a really useful tool. Why? Because a lot of fungi like specific conditions to grow and spread. Baking soda changes the environment on the leaf surface and makes it less comfortable for them. It's not like you're nuking them instantly. You're just making the place less welcoming. Sometimes that little shift is all it takes to slow things down big time. Now, let's talk about the second big issue, aphids. If you've gardened for any length of time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those tiny green, black, yellow, or brown suckers that cluster up and drain the life out of your plants. You end up with curled leaves, weird growth, weak stems, just a sad-look plant. Here's a lot of people realize. Something a lot of people crazy fast. One warm week and a few of them turn into hundreds. That's why catching them early matters. And this is where that little bit of oil in the spray helps. It messes with those soft-bodied bugs when you use it right. Key words, when you use it right. Because in gardening, almost every tool can be amazing or awful depending on how you use it. Here's how to mix it up. Take about 1 quart of water, add 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of light vegetable oil, and a few drops of mild liquid soap. That soap is important. It keeps the oil and water from separating so the spray actually works. But please, whatever you do, don't just grab the regular dish soap from your kitchen. That stuff is too harsh. It can burn your leaves and strip off their natural protection. Get a gentle, plant-friendly one like Castile soap instead. Much safer for your plants, but still does the job. Shake it up real good before you spray, and keep shaking while you're spraying. Sounds like a small thing, but a lot of home sprays fail because people forget this part. Now here's where a lot of videos stop, but this is the part that actually makes you a better gardener. First, more is not better. Don't go doubling the recipe thinking it'll work twice as good. Too much baking soda, oil, or soap can actually damage your plants. Always remember, plants are living things. What helps in the right amount can hurt in excess. Golden rule, test it first. Spray just 1 or 2 leaves in a hidden spot. Wait 2-4 hours. See how they look. If they're still happy, go ahead. If not, you know to go lighter or skip that plant. 1 day of patience can save your whole garden. Second, timing matters. Don't spray in the middle of a hot sunny afternoon. Do it in the early morning or evening when it's cooler. Your plants will thank you. Third, and this is huge, airflow. You can spray all day long, but if your plants are jammed together with no air moving through them, the problems just keep coming back. Sometimes the best solution isn't adding something, it's taking something away. Prune a little, thin things out. Remove infected leaves. Good gardening is often about subtraction. Also, try to water the soil, not the leaves. Wet leaves for hours make fungi throw a party. And don't forget about the good bugs. Ladywings, those guys are your friends. They eat aphids like crazy. Spray smart, protect the flowers, and let nature do some of the work for you. Look, the healthiest gardens you've seen aren't the ones with the most products. They're the ones where the gardener shows up consistently, checking plants, watering properly, giving them space, building good soil, catching problems early. Walk your garden every few days. Look under the leaves. Write down what you see. After a couple seasons, you'll start noticing the patterns. That's when gardening stops feeling like a constant battle and starts feeling like something you actually enjoy. So yeah, this homemade spray, it's a solid tool to have in your back pocket. Cheap, easy, and effective for powdery mildew and aphids when you catch them early. But it's just one tool. The real secret is building better habits over time. Next time you walk in the garden and see trouble, don't panic. Take a breath, look closer, and ask yourself, what kind of problem is this really, and why did it show up? When you start thinking like that, you stop fighting your garden and start working with it. And that, my friend, is where the real success happens. If this helped you, do me a quick favor. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Share it with your gardening buddies too. Every week I'm dropping more practical, money-saving tips that actually work in real backyards. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one. Happy gardening! This version sounds like a real guy who's passionate about gardening, talking to his audience. Friendly, experienced, no AI stiffness. It has that viral, relatable, less useful, less trustworthy feel. Want me to tweak anything specific? More casual, add a personal story touch, adjust length, etc. Or ready for the Vietnamese version? Just say the word.